So, there's a couple of Logan's cast members that I haven't really talked about much, but for now I want to focus on two. Let's begin with Chris. He's probably my favorite actor in the cast, and overall seems to be a pretty cool guy. The problem, however, is as of the time of writing this, Chris has been gone from the SML videos almost completely for a few months, with a few cameos at best. I guess I didn't realize how much Chris was really holding these videos together. The quality is tanked, but hey, this has given another cast member much more of the spotlight than he had ever had before. Lance! Yeah, Lance, the one behind most of Logan's old characters, as well as many new ones. Surely with Lance being able to have the spotlight much more, some older characters could finally get some more time in videos, right? Right? Well, not only is that not true, but after thinking about it, I believe Lance might be one of the main problems of modern SML. This will require a bit of explanation, so please bear with me. First, who exactly does Lance even play? Well, for the first while, Lance didn't do much for Logan's videos. However, during the classic era primarily, Lance actually played quite a few characters. Woody, Shrek, Black Yoshi, Mr. Pig, and so on. But wait, why would I complain about that? Well, I'm not. But let me tell you who Lance plays now. Mainly, Jeffy. So, in the old era, Lance had to split things between a multitude of characters. Plus, none of Lance's characters really had any major success. Yeah, we had Black Yoshi, but that was about the extent of it. And Black Yoshi always felt like an extension onto the main SML cast, rather than flat out taking over the entire thing. And in the Junior era, Lance's role seemed to be significantly diminished. Obviously not gone, but since it was the Junior era, we mainly had Junior played by Logan, Cody and Brooklyn Guy played by Chris, and Joseph, Bowser, and Chef PP played by Lavelle. But with the Jeffy era, Lance not only got a character that got big appearances again, but one that was a runaway success for the channel. So why is this important? Well, here's something you need to know about Lance and what he does with his characters. If given the opportunity, he will run a joke into the ground. With all due respect to Lance, he thinks he's the funniest thing ever and the greatest thing since sliced bread. His ego after the runaway success of Jeffy certainly hasn't helped matters in that regard. Now, back in the day, since he used to play so many characters, he usually didn't have a chance to run the jokes into the ground, let alone have them carry across videos. Shrek would sometimes get close in videos like Shrek's Crappy Wish, but overall the old characters didn't have this issue. But now, let's think about it. What characters does he usually play? Well, he'll usually play Jeffy. Well, we all know how repetitive and overused that character is. But wait, he does play other characters too. Like Goodman, whose jokes have gotten more and more stale with each passing video. They try to mix it up from time to time, but most of the jokes are just, haha, he likes money and wants Mario's house payment. And then there's Black Yoshi, who becomes more and more of the same jokes over and over with each video. Haha, guys, you get it? He's a black stereotype. Maybe it's all the more grating because instead of getting decently paced scenes, half the time we'll just get Black Yoshi and Mario arguing for ages. Heck, the same thing happens with Jeffy. Even new characters are beginning to have similar issues with being repetitive and annoying, such as Camille Habib Habab. Yeah, okay, kinda funny as a one-time thing, but, you know, if it's going to continue, you have to change the jokes. There are exceptions, of course. I think some of the smaller roles are actually pretty okay. And you might have noticed how I haven't mentioned Jackie Chu, but that's in part because he's been relegated to such a relatively small role now, and his jokes can become repetitive too. But I know what you're thinking. I just mentioned a bunch of characters Lance plays. But the problem is that we don't usually get to see them in the same scenes together, or in some cases not even much in the same video together. And so that means Lance can make the jokes as repetitive as he wants. Why? Because there aren't any other characters he has to play or think about. And nowhere is this more apparent than Jeffy. I believe that Logan has truly lost control of Lance. especially when he's playing Jeffy. Do you think Logan is going to argue with the voice actor of Jeffy the Money Cow? And so Lance gets to force those jokes over and over. Oh, and Harry, let's not forget Harry. Harry feels very much like Cody, but way less funny. Harry can't play off of Junior and Joseph, for example, nearly as well as Cody can. Plus, Cody's about 1,000 times funnier, now more than ever. Harry can get a chuckle at times, but that's about it. So, Lance, if you're listening, I actually do like some of your characters, especially the older ones. However, with all due respect, you have a tendency to force and repeat jokes far too often. I know you think you're the funniest guy on planet Earth, and you certainly have funny moments, but repeating the same 3 jokes all the time isn't funny. It makes the videos boring and annoying, which is exactly what's happened in the absence of Chris for the past few months. Frankly, I'm surprised it all took me this long to figure out. Obviously, Jeffy has been a detriment to the channel, but Lance has been the one actively damaging it with painfully unfunny jokes, and Chris has been the primary factor holding everything together for this long. Remember when Lance's characters used to actually play off of Logan's, or even just one another, rather than it just being a long portion of nothing happening, or the playing off of factor simply being, haha, Jeffy break thing, it funny, or haha, Jeffy say no, it funny, but hey, no one can really argue with you on it. After all, you're the main man behind Jeffy! Chris has been sorely missed, and it's in part because he managed to balance out your characters to a certain degree, but especially Logan's. In fact, let's talk about Logan's characters. I'll only list the primary 2. Mario and Junior. Mario is a straight man character that isn't really funny on his own, but is supposed to play off of others, and have others play off of him in response. And Junior, while a bit funnier, is also supposed to play off of others. However, Logan's characters aren't funny mainly because they're not designed to be funny on their own. Lance's characters aren't funny because, despite being able to be funny on their own, they can't because the same painfully unfunny jokes are beaten into the ground. Lance, you beat the proverbial dead horse that is your jokes until that horse is nothing but a pile of dust, and then you continue. You know, I've been ragging on about Logan for literal years now. But thinking about it, maybe it wasn't entirely Logan. Sure, Logan's got an ego on him, but pretty much all of my criticisms of Logan, at least in terms of purely the videos, are doubly true for Lance. Lance has a giant ego, in part because he thinks Jeffy is the funniest thing ever, and the only way to actually get something actually funny from Lance's characters is either requiring Lance to play multiple characters in a short span of time, thus preventing Lance from being the same 1 or 2 jokes into the ground, or, you know, sheer dumb luck. You know, those jokes that just so happen to be delivered just right to get a laugh. And overall, I've just realized that the thing killing Logan's videos might be Lance. Yeah, don't get me wrong, Logan's to blame for plenty of stuff still, such as not taking fan suggestions, allowing Lance to even use the same jokes over and over again, and so on. But from a purely video perspective, this might be primarily a Lance problem, now more than ever. Lance had effectively taken over a large portion of the videos, and it's now even more glaring with Chris being gone for months. And I believe that may be the biggest problem with modern SML. It has become Super Mario Lance, or I guess Super Jeffy Lance, with the star of the show being Jeffy, with all the other characters having to do a balancing act around Jeffy in order to keep things somewhat stable. I mean, how long has it been again since we had a truly good SML video? The baseball game? Yeah, so quite a while. And wow, what a surprise, that was the one where Chris's characters were actually in it, and Lance had to split his attention to different characters. Say what you want about Logan, but at the end of the day, what matters most is the videos. I don't care what happens with Logan selling merch, or having a giant ego, or what have you, so long as at the end of the day, we have good videos. But we don't, and I feel like this is a 2-part 30 Acre problem. One 30 Acre has such an ego and thinks his characters in comedy are so great that he ends up dragging the videos down. And the other is too nervous to stop him, and so has to try to work around him with varying, but quickly failing, degrees of success. Well, thank you all for watching, and take care.